YouTube. My name is Kamrin Denniston. I am 20 years old. I currently live in Caldwell, Idaho. And I'm a mother of 3.5. So I'm making this YouTube video today as my senior project for high school, but also as in hopes to help other teen moms. So, where to begin? I'm currently in my bedroom because this is a place where I can hide for a moment to get some peace and quiet to make this video for you guys. So I do apologize about the background, the scenery, but this is a quiet space to have a talk with you guys. So some things I want to talk about is first off, I'm obviously still in high school, and I'm 20 years old. I will be 21 next month. So this is my last chance to get my high school diploma. And I want to make this video because I know a lot of other teen moms that are friends of mine and close acquaintances that I went to school with that have gone through the same thing. Whether it's high school or college or working and being a teen mom, being a mom in general is hard. But being a teen mom has a whole other set of challenges. So some things I want to talk about in hopes to help you or make it feel like you're not alone is, well, first off, I got pregnant when I was 16. I had only been dating my boyfriend for a couple months. We were high school sweethearts. We worked together at Rigby Arctic Circle. He was my boss. But he wasn't like older or anything. He was 2 years older than me. So 1 year and 6 months. But we met. We really hit it off. You know, we loved each other. We were young and we got pregnant. Coming out to our parents was really hard about the baby, but it wasn't impossible. The greatest thing I had was a support system from my husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend, but he was my support system because my family did not take the news very well. So that was a challenge. It was a really big challenge. It was something I was very scared of. I knew they wouldn't take well, so I was very, very scared to tell my parents, but my husband supported me and told my parents with me, and when they didn't react well, he was there for me. So, I know that's not a privilege everyone has, but I am very grateful and blessed to have my husband stand beside me through the whole thing. So, another thing was bullying. So I actually have been very bullied and picked on my entire life. So, you know, when word got around that I was pregnant, that didn't go well. But like I said, I had my husband and I had a few close friends, but my husband picked me up from my house. He brought me to school. We ate lunch together. We rode home together, so I never had to be alone. So that helped. He was a senior in high school and I was a junior at the time. So pregnancy went pretty well, but at 31 weeks I was hospitalized and put on bed rest, which was in March, and school didn't end until May. So I had to do all my assignments in the hospital, and I ended up passing still my junior year. Again, my husband was great. He brought me all my homework, talked to my teachers, communicated, got me any books and things I needed. I actually had an amazing English teacher come in and actually visit me while I was in the hospital, check up on me. So it was really awesome. All my teachers were very supportive. But before that, I got married. So I was also a high schooler that was married. My husband, again, was a senior and I was a junior. We got married in December. We then had our son in May 1st, and my husband, that was really hard because my husband was working and going to school. And we lived in Idaho Falls at the time. We attended school in Rigby, but we lived in Idaho Falls in our own apartment. And I had the baby at Mountain View Hospital, and the next day he had to leave to go take tests at school and to work. And so I was left, brand new mother, in the hospital by myself. I did have a lot of family support and friend support that came and visited, but all I wanted was my husband. So that was difficult. That was a challenge, but I understood how important school was to my husband. And so it was just something we had to put up with. 12 days later was senior prom, and I knew how important that was for my husband to go to his last prom. Plus, I had never been to a prom before, so we went. That was 12 days after having a baby. We were only there a few hours because, one, we missed our son, but also there was a lot of looks, a lot of cruel names, calling. It was very uncomfortable. The air was thick. It just was not a good atmosphere for us, and we just wanted to go home and be with our son. So, but we did attend prom. So, I guess with that, I would like to give you some advice. Just pregnancy happens. It's not the end of the world. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be afraid of. Do I think it's for everyone? No. Do I encourage you? No. Not at all. There's nothing wrong with waiting. Babies are incredible, but there's nothing wrong with waiting. Just know that you're not alone, and there's a huge support system, and having one or two close friends is better than having 5 or 6 that are very close to you. It's good to have a support system. So that's my biggest thing, is get support and don't stop going to school. So that's my next thing. So a month after I had my son, I was pregnant again with my second. I was supposed to go to school like everyone else, and usually it's August or September when school starts, but I was supposed to go back to school, and there was a alternative behind my house that had a daycare, so I could have taken my son to daycare and seen him throughout the school day and gone to school, and I could have walked, and I was right next to my house. But when the day came, I didn't go. I just didn't. I had enrolled, I had talked to the counselor, let her know that, hey, I was pregnant with my second kid, because it was a uniform school, because it was a alternative. I just kind of let her know, like, hey, I don't know about uniforms, I'm pregnant, I'm going to be getting bigger, but we worked all that out, and I just didn't go. I felt like I needed to be with my son. Plus, being pregnant and going to school by yourself is very, very scary. So I didn't go, and that was the biggest mistake in my life. I don't regret staying home with my son. I know that's where I needed to be, but I encourage you guys to stay in school because it's so important. And here I am, almost 21, trying to finish, and it's by the skin of my teeth. And it's very challenging, and it is very hard, so I encourage you to just get it done. Just stay motivated, stay dedicated, stick with it. It seems impossible, but this is just the first step to a bigger and better future for you and your child. So I definitely encourage you to stay in school. I never went to school. My biggest thing is, if you don't want to attend school, to be home with your child, like myself. I want to be home with my son. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I should have reached out and looked into online schooling. But I didn't even know of iSucceed, which is where I'm attending right now. I didn't know of iSucceed. I knew of a few others, but they were extremely hard to get into, and I didn't have all my immunizations and things. I didn't have all my paperwork. My mom had a lot of my birth certificates and social security cards, so it was really, really hard to get enrolled. And I guess I just didn't try enough. I gave up. So don't give up. Put in the commitment, because it's worth it. Um, Another challenge of being a mom and a student and a wife is being a wife. um, Kids are a lot. Kids are a lot of responsibility. They take up a lot of time. It takes a lot of selflessness to raise a child, to love a child. But also being a wife or a husband is a lot of commitment. It's very time consuming. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of time. And I'm not going to say it's like time consuming because it's not a chore, but it does affect things. You wouldn't think it would. You think it would be it would just be, but it's not like that. You have to give a lot. There's a lot of communication that goes into it. There's a lot of giving. You want to spend as much time as you can together. There's a lot of supportiveness. You might be having a great day and feeling very motivated and productive, but your spouse does not feel productive, is having a bad day, and you need to be there for them. It's no longer two people. You're one. You're a group of one. So you lean on each other, you depend on each other. And my husband has been my support system through this whole process. Another challenge that arose as a wife and a student was I had to go to work. So my husband could finish college. It was just getting too much. He was working full time and he was going to school full time, doing like 16 credits. At the very end, he did 19 credits. Almost had to do 21, but he got away with 19 credits. So he needed a break so that he could focus on his schooling, and I had to work so that we could have some income to keep us afloat. So that was a big challenge because it put my schooling on hold. It was a big burden on the family because since I had my son, I hadn't worked. I was a stay-at-home mother, and so it was a big change to all of a sudden flip roles. Like, he's home, yes, he's going to school, but he's home. We wouldn't have ever made it through our schooling if it hadn't been for his grandparents, which were a huge support system. They watched the kids while we went to school, while we worked, sat with the kids so I could do homework. When I was sick, they stayed with our kids so that we could sleep and go to the doctors. They were just fantastic. We wouldn't have been able to do anything if it wasn't for them. So find your support system. Whoever it may be, find a support system that works for you. Not all of us are blessed, but it is possible to do it all. My husband's living proof of that. College, work, wife, kids. He did it all. So it is possible. You just have to put in the dedication. Don't procrastinate. Of course, your children are more important than anything else on the planet, but it's very important to encourage them to do their best, to encourage them to continue school, to be a good, positive influence. You wouldn't want them to quit high school and never go to college and become something of themselves. You want to encourage them to be bigger and better and greater. They're our next generation that is going to be leading the world. We want to make sure that they are, even if they don't want to go to college, just encourage them to never give up, to keep trying. I think that's very important. And I wanted to be that influence for my kids. My husband's gone above and beyond expectations, but I always felt like I wasn't doing enough to make, how do I phrase this? To make an impact on my kids. When it's my time to die, I want my kids to remember that their mother did everything that she could to encourage them and to make them successful and have a good life. I want to give everything I can to my kids. And I also am inspired. My husband has inspired me. I want to strive for more. I don't want to settle for mediocre. I want to strive for the best. And so I want to be a doctor. But you can't do that unless you have your high school diploma. And for a long time, I didn't realize how important that was. But now, since I want to go to college, I want to succeed, I realize that this is the first milestone and this is the smallest. It's only going to get harder from here on out. So just push. Stay motivated. Don't procrastinate. Have a positive attitude. Give to your children. Be selfless. But remember that your education and your future is just as important as theirs. I hope that you guys enjoyed my video and that it was helpful. And just know you're not alone. And it does get easier. It does get better. I had my first two 10 months apart. They are now 3 and 2. I have a 10-month-old baby as of the 5th of this month. And I'm pregnant with my 4th. I am 4 months pregnant. So it is possible. I'm going to graduate a mother of 4. But it is going to be okay. It's you know, the saying is the Lord doesn't give us more than we can handle. So we will all succeed.